So, welcome back to Sound Bites. I'm your host, Mark DeWolf. And in today's edition, I'm talking with Ditta Kasdan, Jenna Mooers, and Lindsay MacPhee. Ditta started Dee Dee's Ice Cream back in 2004 in Peggy's Cove and then opened her Halifax Cafe in 2010. This year, she passed on the Dee Dee's baton to Jenna Mooers, who many of you'll know from that great little restaurant. I love it, Chicken Chop. And a little further back when we first met, Jane's on the Common, which was owned and operated by Jenna's mom. And of course, her business partner, Lindsay MacPhee, who's an entrepreneur, owner of the Flotation Center. And I really love this description. Self-described as a former chemical engineer turned happiness enabler. If all of us hopefully could have one day be a happiness enabler. Of course, I pour a few bottles of wine, so usually I am too. So welcome to the show, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
So I'm going to start with Ditta, and I want tell our audience a little bit about why. So when, why, and where did you start Dee Dee's?
So I moved to Halifax in 1972, and the only ice cream game in town was Dairy Queen. And I was always a passionate lover of good ice cream. So that's been in my mind since I was about 14. Then I was a teacher for a long time, and I decided I didn't want to end my career as a tired teacher. And so I had this idea of segueing into creating really wonderful ice cream. That's why I started it, and we started in Peggy's Cove in 2004.
Wow. And so, yeah, over that time, you became a bit of a little local legend for your ice cream. A lot of people very well known in the community. But I mean, so you talked a bit about being, didn't want to be a tired teacher. So, but, after whatever, I guess 18 years, you kind of decided to pass the baton, or maybe we should say the ice cream scoop, so to speak, to Jenna and Lindsay. And, why was it right for now to make that transition, and really how important for you was it to find the right people to take over the business?
So I didn't want to be a tired ice cream maker either. So 5 years ago, when I turned 60, I thought I probably wanted to retire when I was 65. It's a wonderful business, and the closer I got to 65, I realized that young, new, energetic energy would would be a wonderful thing for the business and the community, really. So I decided to start transitioning more seriously about a year ago, and it was really important for me to find people with like-minded values, people who are going to respect my employees, all the things that we had built up, shared values was really important. So I never advertised. I just started reaching out to people in the Halifax business community that I thought might share similar values. And that's how this happened.
Well, first I should say too, you look amazing for someone that has been in the ice cream business for 18 years. I guarantee that I own Dee Dee's for any length of time, I would not be looking like you. So congratulations. So this question is really for Jenna and Lindsay. So why Dee Dee's? What about the business and maybe about Ditta that kind of said, okay, I want to take my entrepreneurial skills to the cafe and ice cream business?
Honestly, we really saw just like ice cream as a vehicle for what Ditta's been doing in the community. So it's not really, we're blessed that the product is amazing. In our opinion, the best in the world. But but really, like when Ditta kind of approached us, I don't think Jenna and myself were thinking, what we want to do is do a cafe or anything like that. It was like we really just look up to Ditta and want to ensure that her legacy is continued. And also, we've just had so much respect and love for Dee Dee's ourselves. Jenna just lives right around the corner. It was just really important for us to be part of something that we think is much bigger than just ice cream.
Yeah, well,
Oh, sorry.
No, you go elaborate.
When I thought about serving ice cream, all I could think about was, it's just serving joy.
Yeah.
And Dee Dee's is, I just live around the corner, and it's been such a important little spot for this neighborhood for so long. I just, really wanted to be a part of that.
Okay, and so let's take a look at and talk a little bit about entrepreneurship, and specifically female entrepreneurship. I know, Jenna, I probably first met you some 20 odd years ago, when I would go in every once in a while to Jane's and do a little wine talk or a seminar. And at that time, there was, your mom was, a real leader and in the hospitality industry. And at the time, we didn't have as many women kind of leading the charge. And so how important, how much of an inspiration are people like Ditta and your mom and other women in the hospitality business in your kind of decisions to kind of keep building, expanding, and doing all the things you do?
Yeah, well, I honestly would say that the experience working alongside my mom as a teenager had a huge influence on my career decision, and my decision to be a business owner. Working with her as a teenager was a really unique experience. I remember being 15 and painting the chairs at midnight the night before we opened, day one, hoping that they wouldn't be tacky still in the morning. But yeah, it was at Jane's, I think, that I really fell in love with the industry. I was really initially attracted just to the fast pace, the team driven environment that restaurants are. And, it was there that I learned that bringing people joy through serving them food could be, a career option. And yeah, my mom, she showed me what it meant to be a good boss. And that, really that, you can do anything if you put your heart into it. So
amazing. And then I guess, Lindsay, the same question. You kind of jumped into the entrepreneurial, I guess, when was your first business open? Around 2015?
The Flotation Center opened in 2015. And I think it was really important for me to work with women in particular, just because I came from a very male-dominated industry in engineering. So I thought that it was important to really work with and support other women and lift one another up. And when I moved back, Ditta and then Jenna's mom, Jane, were like queens to me. I couldn't believe there were two awesome women like that in the city. And when I was actually going through my first business process, Jenna's mom was on the panel for me to get some funding and stuff. So it's really been this full circle experience to come from idolizing someone and then getting to work with them. And that even goes for Jenna too. I really looked up to Jenna and what she's done here with Edna and chicken and who knows what's next and stuff. So I kind of feel like I'm in this perfect little world where I get to eat ice cream and work with people I love.
Yeah. It does seem like quite the amazing kind of combination of talents and energy, and it kind of, there's a kind of a friendship that exudes between the three of you, really, and a kind of a respect, which is pretty amazing. I guess, too, when you start a business like this, Ditta, you especially in hospitality, we talk about crafting and experience, or and I guess, when you were crafting and creating Dee Dee's, what was there? Can we say what is the Dee Dee's experience that you want people to have? Or
Yeah, I mean, originally I just thought I'd make the best ice cream I possibly could. But then moving into the North End, especially, it became such a neighborhood, such a community, sort of a community center in a way. And I realized that you can create a business to be a little tiny mini world, like the kind of world that you want to live in. There's so many discouraging things, negative things about the world. And it's sort of like creating a little space that has the qualities that you want to exist in your life. So inclusion, tolerance, people being seen. They walk in the door, you see them no matter what they look like. So that's the experience, I think, that's aside from, great food.
Yeah, of course. But I think that's everybody's, as a customer perspective. I think that's all our dreams and expectations of when we walk into a place. It's just feeling that comfort and feeling like you belong and feeling as if people want you there, and that translates into a great evening out or lunch, or if it's a scoop of ice cream. So, but Jenna and Lindsay, you're entrepreneurs, so you probably always think ahead and are looking not only to the now but to the future. So I guess the same question to you is, in the short, what do you want the Dee Dee's experience to be too? Like, is it, will there be evolution, or is it just about, kind of keeping that feeling going?
It's really important for us to maintain the same quality of product. So we have zero plans for changing any of that. I think our goal is really just to keep things much of the same in many ways. And that includes what Ditta spoke about, like inclusion, fair wages, environmentalism, things like that. But Ditta had mentioned how, she was like just wanting to get to a point to retire and stuff. But there's been people knocking down Ditta's door to have her ice cream in their restaurant. So that's actually what we're focusing on now. And Jenna's been reaching out with some connections and stuff just to really start to slowly spread our happiness into the community a bit more again.
That's exciting. So more Dee Dee's and more places. That could be
more ice cream all the time.
a lot of fun.
Flavors already.
Yeah. Well, speaking of flavors, any ones that people should try right in the moment? Like, what are your 3 favorite ice creams?
Well, one of our newest ones that we just released this week was a salted bourbon pecan flavor, which is I'll take the claim to fame on that one.
Yeah, that was all Jenna. And Jenna also, we did a really nice key lime pie ice cream as well. And actually right now what we're doing is we're just preparing for Christmas as in the holiday season. So getting our ducks in a row for our OG lineup of Christmas stuff, and then planning for some new stuff as well.
Fantastic. So but there is a cafe too, so right, so we can dine there. So any fun favorite, just kind of non-ice cream items that people should know about?
Well, I mean, we still serve our great burritos. With my first couple shifts working at Dee Dee's when we took over, I couldn't believe how many burritos we were rolling. Yeah, so you can pop in for a burrito, a bowl of chili.
Fresh muffins. We're bringing back our soups and warming foods and stuff as well. Yeah, and I mean, we've still stuck with Ditta's original goal of using fresh and local. And I mean, we make everything from scratch, including, our refried beans, salsa, guacamole, smashed, potatoes. Everything takes time and love and care, but you can taste it.
Amazing. I guess just for the practicality, for those that don't know, where do we find Dee Dee's?
We're located at 5668 Cornwallis Street, just at the corner of Bauer and Cornwallis, down from the Commons.
Awesome. So, I think you let the cat out of the bag in a bit in terms of the expansion to like restaurants. Anything else we should know that's coming on the horizon?
Trying to think.
I mean, we've got some good ideas on the table. I don't know if we're ready to release.
We're not really
ready
to release things yet, but we do have a lot of lovely things in motion, and it's really exciting. But the summer we just focused on day to day, and so now it's really nice because we can focus on just growth and really caring for one another within the business and forward thinking.
Well, I guess that means that we should continue to pop by the locations, check out what's new and what new flavors have come out. So I'll take this time to thank Ditta, Jenna, and Lindsay for taking a little time to talk to us about this kind of exciting evolution of the business. And anyway, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you.
Okay. And I'll see you for a scoop or two with my kids soon.